Lesson 41. Chord progressions. What are they? Chord progressions are simply movement from one chord to another in a harmonic way. In other words, to put simply, it's movement from one chord to another chord that sounds good or pleasant to the ear. There are a lot of different types of chord progressions, from simple pop chord progressions like the 1, 4, 5 to very complicated chord progressions that are used in jazz, blues, etc. For the next few lessons we're going to stick to simple chord progressions, but bear in mind that one chord progression can be used on different songs. A chord progression is not just limited to one song. When you listen to the radio and you hear all these pop songs, dance tunes, say, if you listen to it, when you start understanding chord progressions and chords, you'll start hearing it over and over again in different songs. So chord progressions are used in different songs. So let's take a look at something we looked at in lesson 20 first. We need to go over it before we go on to progressions. So now we're going to learn how to form a chord progression, and it's using a scale. So as you guess, we're going to use a C major scale for this example. Now in lesson 20 we've seen how to build a chord on each note of a scale, which was in the key of C. Now, if you haven't looked at that lesson, I'd go back and go over it. Lesson 20, because I'm not going to spend too much time on it in this lesson. So, chord of each note of the scale. Now, here's the important thing. You have to know that the modes like major, minor, minor, major. So each one you need to know whether it's a major, a minor, diminished, and this is how we build chord progressions. So let's start with C. The first one, whether we're in the key of C or we're in the key of G, the first chord is always major. Second is always minor. Third is always minor. Fourth is always major. Fifth is always major. Sixth is always minor. And seventh is always diminished. So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and then back to the one chord which is major. So if we were going to play a progression which was a 1, and don't forget, if you see this written down at all, if you're talking about chord progressions, it's always written in Roman numerals. Now you can learn this by downloading my free book from the free page. So a 1 is the C, of course, because that's the first note, that's the first chord of the scale, 1. And then we want a 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the 6 is always minor, remember? Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. So we have a 1, we have a 6, which is minor, and now we want a 2, so 2 is minor, major, minor, so minor. So now we have 1, 6, 2, and now we want a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a major. So there we have it. 1, 6, 2, 5. Now, what I'm going to do is, instead of having the 6 up here, I'm going to change this so the 6 ends up lower than the first chord. So we have 1, 6, 2, 5. Now you may recognise that and you may not. So 1, 6, 2, 5. Now I need to point out, if you were in a different key, then you'd use that scale to build the chords on. Exactly the same: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and back to the 1. Now this is a well-known chord progression, the 1, 6, 2, 5. Now you may recognise it through a movie called Big with Tom Hanks in it, which goes, most people when they play this, they play it with 2 people, 4 hands, so one person will be playing and the other person will be playing. Together that sounds. So that's a 1, 6, 2, 5 chord progression, and one song that can fit that is the movie Big. I think it's called Heart and Soul. Now I'm actually playing that 1, 6, 2, 5 chord progression. I'm just changing the rhythm. So that's 1, 6, 2, 5, or I can play it 1, 6. So that's a 1, 6, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5 chord progression. I can change the rhythm to whatever I like. I can make it more complex. Now, remember earlier I said that different songs can be played with same chord progressions. Well, we know that you can play Heart and Soul with that chord progression. What other song can we play? Do you know Blue Moon? So Blue Moon can be played. To admit I haven't really checked that song out before, so I keep making loads of little mistakes, but you get what I'm talking about. So 1, 6, 2, 5, and that's what a chord progression is.